Anybody been in a long distance relationship? How many of y'all in college?
What?
How many of y'all got boyfriends? How many of y'all got relationships?
It's complicated.
The partner at another school, the partner at another place. Yeah, you know, it's like, all right, so this is for you then, just for you. Yeah. This is about, I ain't got no title, but this is about, I was in a long-distance relationship for like a year or two. You know what I'm saying? And while I was in it, this is, you know, you do, poets, boy, you working hard to like, either rationalize things or like fix stuff, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like you know, that's like the gift of the curse part of this. Like, man, I know what to say, I think, to at least make like us feel better, you know what I mean? And that's what this was about. It is hot. You know, when I first got here, I was like, yo, it's not even hot in here. Alright. If this were a perfect world, if this were a perfect world, I'd be able to search the world, dive into the Atlantic and unearth a pearl stranded on a piece of string spun from a spider and vow to always be stranded inside you if this were a perfect world. But it ain't. So I guess we'll have to settle for this hug, this minute, kiss minutes away, and pray for infinite 10 minutes a day, and our love story still may not finish that way, but wouldn't it be nice if it did? Wouldn't it be nice if the life that I lived was a wife and a kid, and that wife was you? And that kid existed within the life of you, and if it did, I'd recite to you Philippians to your Philippians until that baby brought light to you. Then the three of us would live under a sky of bright to blue, and at nighttime I guess the moonlight would do, even though it still wouldn't be quite as bright as you holding our son. Our little tyke is 2, and he's talking now, and daddy's teaching him how to write a few words, specifically 2 nouns, 1 verb. I love you. At least these are the things that I would like to do if this were a perfect world. But it ain't. So I guess we'll have to settle for this conversation on the phone. The frustration of being alone because my occupation is the distance and our destination. And it makes you question Jason, like, what happens when puppy love becomes full grown? What happens when one dog decides to leave home? Does he ever look back at the old bowl that was once filled up with soul? Or after a while, he start to search for a new bone? That's what I tell her. You got to trust me. But she keeps saying it's hard to when she can't touch me. So then we start to argue and get all fussy. And I get all touchy. Like, listen, it's always us, we, never I. So never I sever the heart of my better part because I deem myself as lucky that I found you like a sale in a ghetto mart or a priceless piece of retro art, a masterpiece. Must be sanctified, set apart, so this may be uncomfortable like desert weather with a sweater and a leather scarf, but soon we'll be better off able to sit together with a pedestal and pedal art to ghetto school kids and pedestrians in the hood, and that's when our forever starts, at least it would, if this were a perfect world. But you know, I know, you know, that it ain't. So instead of drawing conclusions about tomorrow, why not let it be today we paint? Paint it purple with passion. That way as time passes and our passion grows faint, at least it'll still be that pretty lavender color. And you ain't gotta worry about me out here trying to ravish another, because I really ain't no savage scavenger brother. Plus I can't deal with the baggage of having a lover and choosing to lose her to let my swagger recover and see if I still got it. Fellas like that just don't get it. I'd much rather be smothered than you, sis. I'd much rather be smothered in your music. I'm the musician and use the acoustic guitar. Lay one hand upon your neck, the other upon your body. Strum your strings until you make sounds on the inside that can be heard on the outside. Our love sounds like old Negro spiritual, strong enough to make the South cry. Open up your arms to me, prepare yourself for the outcry. Cry out until your mouth's dry that you're blessed to find a devout God, because I sure am happy that I found you. Which is the reason it ain't hard to figure out why I wanted to sit here all night and make sure every single word is right that I typed in this email. When I ask you how your day went, I really do expect to hear every single detail down to the dial tone. Because though we are miles apart, That don't mean we can't have smiling hearts, memories, and milestones. Wake up in the morning and grab my cell phone and dial 99666, 99666, which translates to XOXO, text message language, and hug and kiss in English. I know you love this, but I mean this. This ain't no lustful bliss. This is just my example of how real life can be exactly what a dream is. There were scars in this Mars, so I made love intravenous and realized who needs a perfect world when there's perfect happiness between us. This is the proof that God is a genius, and we are by design. So as far as the coming of a perfect world, take your sweet time. It can be held off until hell's lost. Quite frankly, I really wouldn't mind. Because it's our imperfections that turn into blessings. And today, though miles and miles away, you and I are just fine. And then we broke up, but... I was mad as fire. I was sitting here and I was like, dang, everybody's doing like these really amazing God pieces, right? Like kind of like this whole like paradox of like how does this God thing work? I don't know either. You know what I'm saying? I do the best that I can. That's what I live and all that. But I thought it was interesting because I feel like everybody's making really good cases, right? And so it's just about whatever side you fall on or somewhere in the middle. And me personally, I tend to lie somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? Because I think that as beautiful and as relevant as religion is, and even certain, whether it be Christianity or whatever you believe in, I think that the part that we tend to miss out the most out of everything is that like the God that exists out here is the God that exists in here too, right? And I think like once we figure that part out, then like everything changes. Like everything changes, right? Like my little brother's 7. And he's like, yo, where's God? Where's God? You know? And I'm like, yo, you know, I put his little hand in the air, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's 7, I mean, he's 7, you ask questions like, hey, where's God, you know? So I put his little hands in the air, and then, you know, God is like all this right here, put his little hands on the ground, and then, you know, God is all this down here. And then I put his little hands on his little chest, his little birdie, and I was like, you know, God is working all up, God is all up in here. Like the most important place is God in here now. By the time he's 17, if he believes that, by the time he's 17, his entire outlook on who he is different, right? Like totally. If he understands that like, yo, there's something really powerful